In revisiting the opioid epidemic, we were reminded of the enduring pain caused by addiction from Jerry and Louise Beitel, a couple we first sat down with in December of 2018, mere months after they lost their daughter, Kelsey. Kelsey Beitel didn't die from an overdose. The coroner's report found she drowned. Discovered in a pool on Tucson's east side, as we reported then, her parents described a year-long addiction to meth and opioids that put their only daughter on this fatal path. Now, more than a year later, we've asked the Beitels what they have realized since about the challenges families face when trying to help a loved one overcome an addiction.
I think we didn't realize at the time the pain of addiction and the embarrassment that she had because she couldn't control it.
She didn't want to let us down.
Treatment is expensive. In hindsight, what do you wish you would have known?
The cost for us immediately, and that was
astronomical.
When I called to try to get her into treatment, it was $2,000 a day, they told me. But then they asked me, is she access eligible? Or does she have an access card? And I says, well, she doesn't, but she certainly would be eligible.
She had just returned to Arizona, so she didn't have time. But we fast-tracked it, probably broke a land speed record on ever getting her an access ID card in less than 24 hours, which I heard that's absolutely impossible, but I was able to pull it off.
So they scholarshiped her on the 21-day. And what I'm thinking is that money was done, and that's why they released her out. But I wish we had more information as far as what the next steps would have been, because I think she wasn't finished. She needed, and she told me she didn't feel like she was really ready to be out there.
And I picked her up on Wednesday before Thanksgiving. They released her a day early. And I remember her at noon. I was supposed to be there to pick her up. I remember with all her belongings in a plastic bag over her shoulder, she was skipping. Opened the double doors, she literally jumped in my arms. And I said, wow, she's all better. It's like getting over a cold.
But to us, she seemed like she was okay.
How little did we know that was just the beginning.
That easy to go right back to it again.
Relapse, easy.
Kelsey was 27, very much an adult, so your hands were tied when it came to helping her. What do you tell families like yours who are trying to help an adult who's struggling with addiction?
Well, that's the problem, and I think that's where I think an involuntary commitment type law should work. I had her in a doctor's office. They spent there was five people trying to convince her that she needed to go to detox. And she just wouldn't go, and that would have been the time to put her in involuntary drug treatment program.
What she said, why she didn't
want
to go?
She told me she told us all that she had to make peace with the drug.
What does that mean?
Since Kelsey's death, you've met families like yours who are looking for some sort of answer. What do you tell them about having hope for the future?
I think those are the questions that I'm still asking. If I got my hair done last weekend, and I found out that there's another lady going through the same thing we went through, and he's in his 40s, and he destroyed her house because of the paranoia and going through all of that. But I asked myself, what would I tell her? What is she to do? Honestly, I don't know.
I don't either.
Because he won't voluntarily go.
And you can't force them if they're an adult.
Let's say we have the same conversation in another year or so. What do you expect will be different then?
I think the support systems for the families going through this situation, I think there should be some kind of playbook.
We had to sit and watch our daughter die over a period of time.
I know last time we spoke, you said that Kelsey wanted to change the world, and that has sort of become her motto. She's not here anymore, so how can she change the world?
Through us. It's through us. We're taking the what's the word?
Torch.
We're taking the torch.
The baton.
And in her honor, that hopefully we can help other people from succumbing to this.
They also see hope for others in the Arizona Opioid Epidemic Act's Good Samaritan law that took effect in April of 2018, which can allow people to report an overdose without facing prosecution themselves for drug use. They suspect if Kelsey had actually overdosed before ending up in a swimming pool, greater knowledge of this law could have potentially saved her.
Maybe that law that nobody knows about might have helped her, because somebody would maybe freaking out, oh my God,
Call
call
911.
911. They may have come up to the condo unit rather than be pulling her out of the pool, trying to restart her heart. Well, by the time they restarted her heart, the brain was deprived of oxygen too long and she had no brain activity.
It was the water that killed her, not the drug. She had a lot of drug in her system, but
You've lived in agony for the last year, but you sound hopeful and optimistic. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, absolutely. We want to help people, so parents or caregivers, that they don't have to go through this nightmare.
I don't know how much people really understand. You can look at the laws and everything, but what families actually go through. And again, knowing what to do. That's the question. I mean, if somebody asked me today, what do I do? This woman whose son was going through this right now, exactly what we went through, what do you do? I don't know what to tell her.
Because when we went into this with her, we were completely stupid about drugs. We had no idea about it. It's crazy. I wish I had done the research before, so I knew exactly what she was going through, and I would have probably been a lot more sympathetic about what she was going through and the pain and everything. And then she joined, and I'll let you explain about a prayer registry that she had joined that was really helpful for us and inspired us, and that kind of helped us get through
Well,
it too.
and in that registry, I mean, a lot of people, they talk about how it's everyone who's lost children, and a lot of them are drug overdoses.
Related.
So, I mean, it's...
And she would send me the links, because it's daily emails, and they'd come in. And I said, Louise, do you notice the similarity in these stories? I said, all you do is erase the person's name at the beginning and place a new name in there, and the story is exactly the same from the previous day or week or whatever. It's insane.
You're not an expert, yet you've experienced the worst, and you still don't have the best answer to give a friend who needs the same help you did.
Because it's not out there yet.
Beyond unknowns about addiction, this couple is still anxious for answers about the circumstances that led to their daughter's death.
I just want to know if there's anybody that's out there that really knows what happened and wants to come clean, to call either the law enforcement or call 88 Crime or something, because I think there's somebody out there that really, really knows truly what happened to her that night.